first world, come in and take a seat. Pay us no attention, it's all conspiracy. We have satire and parody, some funny, some perverse. If none of it's offensive to you, you'd be the first.
Fairview's coffee has mysteriously gone missing. Mayhem ensues when strange, coffee-craving zombies plague the city. Detective Mickey Potatoes, an overworked public servant, uncovers why ordinary citizens are losing their minds and how to stop the coffee apocalypse. But it involves the mafia. And when you're dealing with mafia crime families, nothing is ever easy. The mafia controls everything in the city, including the police, including him. If he breaks the mafia, they will break him. So, the city is without coffee. The city is burning before his very eyes, but he's powerless. Detective Potatoes has the power to stop the coffee apocalypse, but if he does, he could lose everything.
And now for something completely different.
And here we go.
Honeycomb's big. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not small. No, no, no.
Kiss my entire.
Oh, my darling, not 3 times on the ceiling if you want me.
I'm gonna get a cappuccino soon. I'm gonna strangle somebody.
This is my place, okay? I have in here who in the fuck I want.
The doctor is in, baby. Oh, wait, I gotta change that. It's not my birthday anymore. Oh, my goodness. There we go. Undefeated by the Shadow Band. Hey, yo, I'm glad to see everybody. Let me check in with the chat here real quick, see what's going on. We got Faz hanging out with us. Hey, Faz. Billy Powerbacks is here. Stephen B is here. Dawn is here. Hail, Carrie. Good to see you. Nobody will time you out today. I promise you. The Chuck Jose channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Undefeated. That's right. I am fully funded in spite of being shadow banned. The account closed, the campaign closed out last night, and we are still. My fear was that, dadgum, man, what if somebody refunds at the last minute and it puts me back under? Ah! Hey, I got to bring out my co-host here. Let me do that.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Gordon Shumway, nice to meet you. Interested in a new Buick?
Nonsense. I've not yet begun to defile myself.
I'll make you famous.
I'll make you famous.
Yes, you will. What's going on?
Nothing much.
It's a great day in the neighborhood today.
It's a beautiful day. Yes, I agree.
It's a beautiful day. Billy Power Max is trying to verify once again if that's the real Carrie. I think he's got a crush. Couldn't say for sure. But listen, we're going to have a good show today. Normally, we do our segments, we talk for a little while, then we bring our guests out. But I'm really excited to have our next guest. We've been missing each other for the opportunity to stream together, other than every now and then on CromCon. He is the creator, writer, publisher of Ed Gein, the series. And if you don't know about it, you will when we're done, because you talk about a cool concept and a man filled with personality.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. How the devil art thou?
What's going on?
Love that intro, brother. Love it.
Thank you. I love it too. But I now have to say, right, one, you get mad respect for me because you had a clip from Hudson Hawk in the opening to the show. And Tanner, I never realized how much I needed Bugs Bunny running to Iron Maiden in my life. And now I feel fulfilled.
So we also have an unexpected but welcome guest in the back.
Oh, yeah.
Let's bring out this guy. He's a regular. You know him. You love him.
What's up?
Hey, what's up,
Max?
What's going on, Max?
Doc is undead. Oh no! He's undead-eated.
Oh my God!
You can't spell.
He's undeaded.
Undeaded.
Very undeaded.
Undead-eated. I'm not even sure what that means. Let me fix that.
Got by some zombies.
This is
got it all this episode.
This is what happens when you don't have enough coffee, boys and girls. Just saying. Hello, Kate.
Hey, Kate.
Hey, in Orlando.
The lovely Kate in Orlando. Kate is a wonderful human being, a great supporter, occasional guest host, and just a lovely soul. Glad to see you with us. We are supposed to be joined by John Dillard. So if you guys know John,
he won't show up. He's too scared.
Poke him with a stick. Poke him with a stick and tell him you're supposed to be here.
I hear he might be my evil twin.
He is. No,
I have never seen Dillard and Lucifer Storm in the same room together.
This is true.
Well, there you go. Maybe he is my evil twin in my mind.
Now, when I agreed to have Lou on the show, I knew that even Tanner and I together did not have enough suave to match Lucifer Storm. So I thought to myself, man, we got to have some American representative of suaveness. Who do I know? John Dillard. John Dillard. So I said that, and then Sketchpad goes, he's Mexican. Like, you son of a bitch, he's American of Mexican descent, so that counts. Don't try that with me.
You're just doing what you can to make sure that this isn't a British invasion, and I respect that. That's fine. That's okay.
What's wrong? What's wrong with a good British invasion?
We already had We already had a British
so I'm
invasion.
good with it.
Couple times. We already had a couple British invasions, and
yes,
we ended up with Yoko Ono and shit. So.
Damn.
So
pew pew, shots fired.
Before the lockdowns, I was seriously in the process of going to sell my home and buy a narrowboat on the canals of England and go live my life there at 3 miles an hour on the towpaths.
Yeah,
because it's a beautiful, peaceful lifestyle.
Mm.
And then the lockdowns happen, and I'm stuck with you guys. So, you know, what can I say?
Sucks to be you, man. So I went through this morning. I woke up at 2 like usual and started putting together the trade paperback for Mary Machine Gun. And just in content, just in story pages alone, there's 152 pages of it.
Whoa,
yeah, that's nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So that'll be good stuff. And then we'll have 8 more extra pages of an additional story that line that's kind of like an after credits, a post credits scene, and then we'll have 40 prints that we got in there. So it'll be a 200-page book.
Heck yeah,
good stuff. Excited.
Very nice.
Doc's typing, must write more pages.
It's that time of the day when I get blown up with messages. I don't know why it is that around between 10 and 1, my messages just start blowing up, and I never know when it's going to be an angry ex-wife, you know, a kid needing money. No idea.
That's every day. I always have an angry ex-wife and a kid wanting money.
Yeah, Max doesn't look like Dillard at all. There's no suaveness there. There's just crusty. I've got crusty covered. Jeez. Yeah. Hey, look. Crusty, sex appeal, crusty, suaveness. We've got it all.
We got it all.
No, I don't know who the fuck told you I was suave, because I may look it, but then I open my face hole and it just goes downhill from there. Either that or it's the accent, isn't it? You just want me to read the phone book for half an hour.
It would give the phone book some much needed panache.
Yeah. Well, now, you know, it's not the accent, Lou. Let's just face it. You're a suave human being. That's just, it's a hard truth. It's a panty snatcher. You know, what can I say? Give credit where credit is due. So,
are you flirting with me, Doc?
Maybe.
Dillard's not here, so someone's got to do it.
Fantastic.
So here's two things in the news today. One, we closed out last night on Pariah Blood and Mud.
Yeah.
And also in the news, Kate says boobies.
Fantastic. These are both very important topics. I don't know which one to cover first.
Did you guys hear about the Kickstarter? It's just called, boobs. And it's killing it on Kickstarter right now.
You know, if you started a campaign that was just boobs, I mean, seriously?
There's a lot to that whole story, and I'm not even going to bring it up because it would take all the show to explain it all.
All right. But what we're going to do, we're going to.
I'm just saying it's clever. They did it.
Wait, what now?
I'm just saying they're clever. They did it.
If you're smart enough to market that, make that.
Yeah. Well, apparently they sold 1,000 copies to some comic shop in Las Vegas 2-3 years ago, and that just disappeared and never happened. So you'll be lucky if you do get your boobs book. I don't think you're gonna get.
Oh, you're saying there actually was a boobs book?
Yeah.
There was a boobs book, and it was made, and it was supposedly put out to some comic company, a local comic shop had bought a whole bunch of them, and they had their own little Fund My Comic going on that they were running themselves. The Wheelers were, and it was a big fucking scam. and they got hammered for it and got shit all over, and then they disappeared, and now they're back again with their little boobs book. Ask Pops. Ask Pops, Doc.
Woo.
For great moments in comics, you need to research that for next week. Now, normally, boys and girls, what we do is we do an opening segment. Tanner and I talk about current events, and then we do a couple of segments. Then we bring our guests out. But I wanted these guys all out here as we do our normal stuff. So the other thing that's happening in current events is a little confusing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because it involves the left, so therefore it's automatically confusing. I thought that when the previous president sent troops to the border, it was a bad thing.
Right.
Now,
it was terrible.
The current idiot is sending troops to the border, and it's a good thing.
It's a good thing when they get that, when their guy does it. It's a bad thing when their guy doesn't do it.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
But now here's my take on it that may be a little controversial. But I happen to agree with both George Washington and Tom Clancy when they said it's the function of the police to enforce a nation's policies within their borders. It is the function of the military to enforce their policies outside of their borders. Mm-hmm. The problem happens when you use military force within our borders. You deploy our boots on the ground.
Yep.
Against whom? The military's job is not to guard, the border. The military's job is to break things and kill people.
Which you can do at the border.
You would. Private American.
Right. Yeah, we can tie all this stuff to comics. This is awesome.
And Pinky
just getting all the controversy out there.
Yeah, But once again, it's that same old thing when Obama built cages and put kids in cages. This is humanity.
The thing that killed me about Obama the most was,
oh my God,
when they had the whole, it was anti-gun stuff, and they were like, and their big catchphrase was, "We don't need weapons of war on our streets." And then what did Obama do? He took all the leftover weapons of war from Afghanistan and Iraq and gave it to the cops. So they were driving APCs and shit. And I'm like, weapons of war on the streets.
Here's what it boils down to, boys and girls. It's not that there's hypocrisy. Everybody's a hypocrite to some degree. Everybody. Yeah. It's that
especially
people want you to accept their hypocrisy and then gaslight you and tell you, no, we're not being hypocrites. That's insulting to everyone who is capable of thought, which I guess appeals to their base. Anyway, it's time for a segment we like to call, it's a new one here on the show.
Hey, what's up, Doc? What's cooking? What's up, Doc? Oh, you're looking.
You serious?
So today, remember that I am no longer a credentialed counselor. This is for information and entertainment purposes only. If you're in distress, contact a mental health provider or call 911 or go to your local emergency room.
Call 988.
So, or 999 if you're in the UK.
Yes. 9988 in the United States is also the number for the mental health hotline.
Yes. Now, one of the questions I used to get asked all the time is, what is the difference between, as far as you, the consumer, going to a provider, between a psychiatrist, a psychologist, and a counselor? All right. So let's break that down. A
psychiatrist makes a bunch more money than a psychiatrist. A psychologist makes a bunch more money than a counselor.
A psychologist is a medical doctor that has a specialization in neuropsychology or psychology. And when you go see a psychiatrist, do not expect to get therapy. That shit ain't going to happen.
They give you pills.
They just provide the referral.
They're going to talk to you for 3 minutes. They're going to prescribe you some medication, kick you out the door next. It's a pill mill.
Yeah.
There is no therapy that takes place there. If you go there looking for that, you're not going to get it. Now, the benefit to that is there are certain mental health issues that do need medical support. They need the medication. All right. Without a doubt, particularly things like
bipolar disorder.
Well, yeah, bipolar disorder, anxiety.
Well, they fall into the cluster B category.
PTSD.
Yeah, it used to be Axis 1. They did away with the multi-axial now, and I'm no longer current, but it's your mood disorder. So like for depression, whatever, you may need that medication, but don't just take the meds. You go see, next category, psychologist.
Yeah.
Psychologists to me are just overpaid counselors who are trying to pay back their student loan debt. They will do therapy, but what they really want to do is publish a paper. So they might just be analyzing your ass the whole time to write a paper about you.
Exactly, and they do. They're the ones that do all the group therapies.
Well, hold on, we'll get to that. Now, they will do therapy, and there are a lot of good psychologists out there. However, remember this: both for psychologists and counselors, there are a multitude of schools of psychology or mental health out there. So within those, there's different types. Some are more effective than others. All right. I won't get on the soapbox and preach about my particular theoretical model that I use. It's just 98% effective when realistic goals are set, as opposed to 60% by everybody else. Which leads us to counselors. Counselors are licensed or certified people who are skilled at providing counseling. You will get the therapy there. Okay. There's no difference in the quality of outcome. There's no difference between the approaches. The psychologists just have more lavish offices because they feel more important. You know, we counselors, we just kind of operate in the gutters. We try to make our office look fancy with some IKEA furniture. It just never works. All right. But having said that, I got to tell you guys a true story. You know, everybody has seen in popular culture, you go in, you lay on a couch, the guy sits where you can't see him, and he takes notes while you talk. That's not real. That shit does not happen. All right. You come in, you sit down, and it's
drawing pictures. They're not. They're drawing. They're sketching.
Yeah.
They're going. Yeah, you talk. I've got to finish my comic, man.
But in real counseling, there's a healthy back and forth. Now, having said that, there was a couch in my office. I had a very large office, so I had room for a desk, a couple of chairs, a seating area, and that included a sofa. But that was for if like I had a family in there, right? So I brought this one guy in. And he just trots over to the sofa and throws himself down on it and lays back like we're going to do some Freudian analytics here. And I'm like, yeah, we don't really do that. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. But anyway, that is the difference between psychiatrist, psychologist, and counselor. Again, one is a medical doctor. That's the psychiatrist. Psychologist has a PhD in one of the interrelated fields of mental health. Counselors do the same thing as psychologists. They just don't have the doctorate degree.
Yep.
There you go.
My psychiatrist that I have for the VA, he's actually really helpful. I mean, he certainly does issue out the pills. Don't get me wrong. But he'll actually spend 45 minutes with you talking, seeing what's going on, and making suggestions for you to go see the psychologist.
Yeah.
And I did go see the psychologist. It was they made me go through what do they call it, aversion therapy or something like that, where you actually go out and put yourself in situations.
Exposure therapy.
Yeah, exposure therapy. Yeah. And it was, he had me going to the grocery store for an hour every day just to be around people.
Yeah. Now, did he go along to supervise?
The first couple times he did.
All right. Let me tell you another true story. I'm working for this counseling agency, and the way it works is you're kind of a contractor. All right. They don't pay you. but they provide you with an office and they take a cut of what you earn, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in this agency, and apparently the owner had never heard of aversion therapy or exposure therapy. So I had a guy that had extreme social phobia, social anxiety. So we agreed, here's what we're going to do. You know, we did the therapy, and then we're going to start the actual exposure therapy. So we're going to go to a coffee shop. I'm going to sit outside on the sidewalk, have a cup of coffee. You are to go inside, sit at the bar, the coffee bar, and interact with people, knowing that you can walk out at any time and come and sit down and be with me for a few minutes, and we'll get you stable. And if you need to leave, we'll leave. That's the way that works. Well, we did that, and it went well. And I'm back, and I'm documenting what happened. And the owner of the agency had a complete fucking meltdown. She thought I had just gone to go have coffee with a client.
Well, sort of.
Hey, Abo, Mojo.
Hey, what's up? What's going on?
Brianna's throwing the horns up for the
Hey,
Lucifer. Let's see. Oh, Billy says, I'm going to the comic shop as a listener. Anyone want to pick up something? Yeah, pick me up a copy of Pariah, Blood and Mud, a copy of Ed Gein, and everything Atrocities got out.
And if you could get me some sanity, I'm in desperate need of some sanity.
When you drop by the comic shop, ask them to order you May 231554, and you will get Mary Machine Gun #1 coming from Antarctic Press.
Say that one more time.
May 231554.
May 233-514. Act today.
No, not even close. 231554.
That's what I said. Damn it! I don't know why you argued with me.
You end up with some other. You'll end up with tarot or something. And while I do love tarot, I would prefer people buy my book.
Yeah, you might end up with Carissa Grant's product. I mean, you know, or Laurie. They're everywhere. Carissa and Laurie, I think, and Max are in a head-to-head race to see who can put themselves in the grave first from working their asses off on mass production of quality independent comic books, is what I'm saying. But that wraps up this segment of
What's up, Doc? What's cooking? What's up, Doc? Oh, you're looking.
You serious?
You serious?
You serious?
As always, if you need mental health services, don't hesitate to go get them. By the way, when I worked in medicine, I had zero belief in mental health treatment. Every crazy person I met in the ER, I thought they were either on drugs or they're just making the shit up, right? No belief in it. And I got into this argument with the MD that was on duty that night. And he goes, really? Yeah. I said, blah, 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 blah. And he said, yeah. So if it's not real, let me ask you a question. I said, okay. You ever had a nightmare? Yeah. Is that healthy? And he walked away. I went,
Mic drop.
Yeah. You got me. So I said that to say this. At some point, everybody may need a little counseling. It doesn't mean you're crazy. Doesn't mean you're deficient. If you can get a head cold, if you can catch diabetes, or not catch, but if you can develop
catch diabetes, I caught the diabetes.
Yes,
Publishers unite.
If you can get physically ill, you can experience mental illness because this is a bioelectrical chemical computer between your ears, and it can malfunction. So if you need help, get help. Don't let anybody tell you not to.
Hell yeah. And it doesn't hurt, you know. I mean, it used to be a lot more. What do they call it? It had a bad connotation if you went to go see a therapist.
A stigma.
Sort. Yes, there was a stigma against it, but now it's pretty much it's gone. For the most part,
well, it went the other way, Max. Now it's like a flex to talk about your mental health. I got people that are telling me they have PTSD because they heard somebody say something offensive. Fuck off. Fuck off.
Yeah.
That shit drives me crazy. That shit drives me crazy when people's like, I got PTSD because I got in a car wreck.
The unfortunate truth is it's like a pendulum swing. You know, we've had it on one side where people are like, it's not real and stuff. And now it's got to the other side where you've got people diagnosing themselves because they read something on Google and went, I need to have that because then I've got a hand in victimhood poker. And trust me, I have a lot of experience with mental health and psychology and everything. I have met so many people who have diagnosed themselves with certain mental health disorders, and I'm like, really? Because just by telling me that, you've proven to me that you don't fucking have it. You've shown a lot of signs of not fucking having it, and you've also shown a lot of signs of you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and that causes such harm for the people who do have. Like, it's a real big gripe with me. Like, I really get fucked up with people.
If you're ever dating a girl who says she's bipolar or has personality disorder,
run.
Just run, because that's just an excuse to be a bitch.
Yeah. What Lou said is very important. Do not ever self-diagnose.
No.
You know, a real professional went to school a long fucking time and did internships and got a lot of training.
Yeah. They read the DSM-5,
and they can still get it wrong.
Okay.
So don't you dare try to, listen.
Not only can they get it wrong, but when they have mental health problems, they don't treat themselves. Like, have you ever seen a barber who cuts his own hair? No, there's a fucking reason for that, and it's the same damn thing.
But Rob Liefeld cuts his own hair.
Well, that's
he's
pretty
not
obvious.
a barber.
Does he use a Flowbee?
I don't know. I just know that he cuts his hair.
Flowbee, boys and girls.
It sucks while it cuts. It certainly does suck.
Now, as Lou was saying, that pendulum has swung, and now you see people that are literally, victim clout chasing, particularly with rare mental illnesses.
Yeah.
Like, I have dissociative personality disorder. No, you don't. Just for clout. Period. I mean, that shit drives me crazy.
I like when people try to tell me they've got multiple personality disorder. I'm like, that doesn't even exist.
Well, disassociative is what that is.
That's what it is, but multiple personality disorder does not exist. It's not a thing.
Yeah. Now, the other one is when someone says they're bipolar, they're right, because everybody is bipolar. It's bipolar disorder that's the problem. Bipolar means ups and downs between two poles. All right, we all swing up and down with our moods. Bipolar disorder is you swing over here and get stuck. You swing over here and get stuck, or you go too fast, or you're too shallow, or you're too wide. Those are the disorders, and they have to meet a certain criteria to be a problem.
And written in the DSM-5.
Yes. I'm going to stick with the DSM-4 because after that, the field of psychiatry lost its fucking mind.
Yeah.
And became a political entity. So
I'm glad I got out. My psychiatrist still has the 4 in his office, and he's got the 5, but he uses it as a coffee poster.
That's exactly right. And listen, this is the thing. The point is, don't self-diagnose.
Yeah.
Don't let some Facebook amateur diagnose you. Don't let a family member tell you. But if you need help, go get help. And it is always affordable. You can go to a CSB, community service boards. There are free mental health agencies everywhere. Yep. If you're in crisis, no emergency room will turn you away. Yeah. And also there are counselors like me, 1 day a week, no charge. Just come see me. If you need help, I'm not going to let the fact that you can't afford it stop you from getting quality help.
There you go.
Absolutely.
There you go. All right. That leads us to another segment during which I get to go and have another cup of coffee. So let's start this thing up here, boys.
Stampy and Lobo in there, which is all
Shut
right.
Welcome to another episode of Great Moments in Comic History. I'm Tanner Hurley, and today we're going to talk about the often imitated, never duplicated Mike Mignola's Hellboy.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So, coming out of Dark Horse Comics from Legend, it was the Legends line at the time, was Mike Mignola's Hellboy, which changed independent comics for the better in a offering of Lovecraftian horror and an art style that's I don't even, no one competes with it. I mean, there's no one that can compete with Mignola's beautiful, heavy blacks, and there's people that try, but try as they may. Yeah, he's just amazing. The Gothic storytelling within Hellboy. And all of these are just stunning.
Is that a timer or is that the gas prices?
Yeah, that was the gas prices. Let's just find some heavy contrast in here.
There you go.
All right, this is the only one I could pull out in short notice. My collection is vast, but and it takes me a while to find some of these books.
His collection is vast.
It's
that's not even a humble brag. That's just a nerd flex.
Yeah.
All right, so this has been another. All right, boys. Hear me. It's official now.
Oh.
The doctor is in.
Ah.
I want to know why he doesn't have a Pariah Blood and Mud mug.
I do have one.
Why are you not using it?
Oh yeah,
because I used it last night.
You got like some water and a soap?
All right, Max. Thanks for coming out. So,
I mean, even I got a Ren mug.
I just really want to slap Max right now. Is what I want to do. just totally
See, I'm punching up. You're punching down.
You boogered up my rhythm. Lou.
Yes.
Let's talk about Ed Gein, Demon Hunter.
Oh, go on then. You've twisted my arm.
All right.
Let's do this.
First of all, share the link with me so I can bring it up.
Oh, that would be a wonderful idea, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Or you can share screen, whatever you want to do.
I'll tell you what. I'll find you a link. Sure, I can do that. You're gonna see me go, huh? How does fucking technology work? Showing my age and everything.
Same here.
Because I look so much younger than what I actually am.
But
that's a good thing, though.
But Lucifer has come up with one of the most original ideas for a story. The moment I met the guy and I found out what he was doing, I was like, "Oh man, I'm so in." Just the elevator pitch will hook you. So we'll let him spew that elevator pitch for you just as soon as.
Well, I tell you what, I thought I would write it down on the back of this lovely trade paperback book that is all 144 pages of Ed Gein Demon Hunter, illustrated by the beautiful and amazing Christian Rossi. So here's your elevator pitch. Ed Gein, the Butcher of Plainfield, has been dead for 7 years. Stuck in a hell loop, Ed continually digs up his mother's grave over and over again, destined to never leave what he thinks is Plainfield Cemetery. But when Ed's hell loop is interrupted by Satan himself, who asks Ed to go back to Plainfield as his personal demon hunter, Ed begins to fear the worst. A deranged demon has escaped with the intention of destroying heaven, hell, and everything in between. Satan can't leave hell unattended, but he can send someone else into the field to do the dirty work for him. And who better to catch a deranged entity than a once deranged maniac? Now, armed with a sacrificial dagger and accompanied by a hellspawn disguised as a bloodhound, Ed must do everything he can to overcome the traumas of his past so that he can protect the universe from complete annihilation. Will Ed be able to overcome the demons of his past in order to capture the deranged demon that lurks in the shadows of Plainfield, Wisconsin? Or will he give in to the fears and the ghosts of his past trauma?
There
you go. That's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen.
Well,
so I mean, you know, if you got to send somebody, and I like, Lou, we talked about this one time before, the process of elimination.
Yeah.
When the devil's going through his list of serial killers to decide who to send back. Tell us about that.
Well, one of the things that I thought about when I was coming up with the story was like, well, he could send any old serial killer back. He could even walk amongst Earth and pick one that's still alive. But he points out in the book, he's like, well, hold on. If I send Bundy or Gacy out there, do you know what's going to happen? They're going to go, screw the world. I'm going to have me some fun. But Ed actually has that little bit of remorse. He carries that guilt with him all the time. He has that guilt about how his mother felt about him because he was raised by a very abusive mother. So he had one hell of an Oedipal complex, clearly, you know.
Right. And so
a little bit.
So the devil goes, no, Bundy, no, Gacy, no, can't do that. Dahmer, no, he's just hungry.
And horny.
Yes. Hungry and horny. That's a
don't forget horny.
Bad combo. He can't get Jack the Ripper because he can't find him. So he sends old Ed Gein.
Yeah.
And so let's just let me show some stuff here, okay, guys. So here are the books. Ed Gein, Demon Hunter.
Yeah.
Lady Satan is also by Lou. Now, Lou, do you have an overall brand, or is it just Lucifer Storm?
It's just Lucifer Storm. It's just me.
All right. It's all me.
It's all me.
Not because of my personal feelings about myself and my narcissism, but just because that's all I could come up with.
So here's the store where you can go and buy these wonderful products. Ed Gein, Demon Hunter, 20 pounds. Now, just so you know, Americans, a pound, 20 pounds is about $700.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm kidding. Got the Demon Hunter t-shirts, being modeled by the lovely, what the hell is her name?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. You expect me to remember names?
Yes.
Oh, no one said I had to remember names.
Every time this has been reviewed, Lou, I wanted to ask, but I wasn't running the interview. The script book edition.
Yes.
Tell me what that is.
The script book edition is basically the script. With a few extras, you do get to see some of Christian's artwork go from thumbnails to pencils to inks. There's a fun little bit at the back of each script book where you get to see some of the photos taken from the crime scene when they explored the Gein family farmhouse and stuff. But it is mostly just photos. The script. Yep, real photos. Okay. But it is mostly just each issue is the script so the issue 1 script book, that's the script that I sent Christian to illustrate issue 1 with, and it still includes typos and little things like that, because even though it was drafted a few times, do you really expect me to sit there at my laptop with a bottle of Tipex on the screen just correcting it? No, I ain't got time for that. I've got other crazy ideas to execute.
Ain't no one got time for that.
Exactly. And hey, Christian understood it and still drew a fucking great book, so I must be doing something right.
Exactly.
He did. I'm telling you, I've been so grateful. I won Ed Gein's issue 1 when I was in at the comic shop, or not comic convention.
Yeah.
Yeah. brand new to the madness.
Was it one of those things when you won it that you were like, what the fuck is this? And then you read it and went, oh, now I'm in.
Well, yeah, honestly, I like creepy stuff, so I was like, whoa,
As soon as you saw you had written a book about Ed Gein, it reminded me of Hart Fisher and his books about Ed Gein.
Yeah. Funnily enough, me and Hart were on a show together on the Critical Blast channel talking about like his stuff with the Jeffrey Dahmer books, and he hadn't heard of Ed Gein Demon Hunter before till that day. And once he saw the fucking title, he was in stitches, absolute stitches, because he was like, "What? He's just a creepy old man. How can he hunt demons?"
Now, when I first met Lou, about a year and a half ago, he had a product that he couldn't really market, and I'm still after him to get one. I need a nipple belt.
Hey, look, I've got 7 nipples so far, and unfortunately that's not enough to make a belt.
You need 24.
At minimum. And to be fair, Doc, 3 of them are mine. I don't even know where the third one came from, to be honest with you. I didn't know I had that many.
Lou has regenerating nipples, boys and girls. Hey, Shadowhawk, good to see you.
Hey, Shadowhawk.
So what is next for you, Lucifer?
Oh God, what isn't next? At the moment, myself and Christian were working on Lady Satan, because that's been such an overdue project. It's been so many delays due to circumstances that were out of my control, unfortunately. But we're finally getting on it. We're almost done with the first 36-page issue, and Christian's just doing one hell of a job. Nice. And I do have plans lined up after that. Obviously, I will be taking Lady Satan further than just this first book, because Lady Satan was an idea that I had during some very dark times.
Right.
When I was going through like a lot of problems and stuff. And
I figured it would have been like when you were having the best time of your life and you were just having a good old time and you're like, hey, let's name Lady Satan. Yeah.
You'd think that, wouldn't you? And I can't blame you for thinking that. Can't blame you for thinking that. But no, it was something that from the moment I came up with it, I have this horrible curse where I go, you know what? I'm going to write a short story. And then that story ends up being about 50 novels long. Right. I mean, with Ed Gein Demon Hunter, when I approached Christian, I actually said to him, like, hey, do you want to work on a 24-page one-shot comic book with me called Ed Gein Demon Hunter? He's like, yeah, I'm in. And then when I said to him, shit, I kind of underestimated things. It's 4 28-page issues. Is that okay? I was like that the whole time, shaking, just like, please say yes, please. I've already had several artists say no. And luckily he did turn around and say yes. And because of that, we got to work together to create something that, like a pervert on a packed out bus, it just rubbed people up the wrong way. Which is exactly what we wanted.
Yes.
I've been dying to say that joke out loud. There are just those lives that you just get and you're like, one day I'm going to be in the right position.
Kidneys, son, nothing but kidneys. There's a term for that, by the way. It's called fraudulism. Not going to explain it. Go look it up. Wow.
So yeah. With Lady Satan, it was one of those ideas that started, and I thought, like, it's going to be 3-4 issues or whatever. And I know I'll do it as a graphic novel. That'd be great because it will just be one and done graphic novel. And then I was like, no, the story's just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I take a little bit out, and then it got bigger again, and then I took a little bit out and went, right, so it's probably going to be about 3 story arcs minimum, possibly 5 kind of thing. And I've only got Christian signed up to illustrate the first arc. But if I have it my way, I will tie him down, I will force feed him money, and get him to do like 20 books at the same time. Because
how did you meet Christian?
Funny story. Well, it's not that funny, really. So I was talking to someone, and they were saying to me how Christian Rossi was one of their favorite artists, and they said they would do anything to work with him. And I thought, right on, because at that point I hadn't heard of him. I thought, right on, I'll go check out his artwork, and I saw it, and I was like, wow, this artwork is fucking amazing. And I found him on Twitter, clicked follow, and I'm not exactly the biggest fan of Twitter. But I was scrolling through it one day because I was like, maybe I should try doing that at least once, just scroll through the feed. And I saw a post.
You can go through hell. Take a walk through hell.
Pretty much. As you can tell, I'm a bit of a fucking sadist like that. But I was scrolling through and I saw a tweet from him saying now open for commissions. Like at the time, I just run the campaign for Lady Satan. And at that point, I was still illustrating Lady Satan. And I thought it would be cool to throw in like a little extra perk that no one knows about. A nice little surprise, right? You know that whole thing, sort of like, undersell them, over-deliver kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I got in touch with him and I was like, hey, how much for like a print? Just draw me a pin-up or something. So he did this one of Lady Satan and he did it so quickly. He was like, okay, I've got a couple of other things to do. I'll get to it Saturday. I was like, yep, no problem. Saturday turns up and like normally I'd expect, here's a rough sketch. Give it a couple of days. Here's some pencils. Give it a couple of days. Here's some inks. Give it a couple of days. Here's some colors. No, it was literally, here's a sketch. What do you think? Yes, go with the grace of God, good man. Few hours later, here's the pencils and inks. When do you want me to color it? As soon as fucking possible. Come on, just color the fuck. Literally, it was about 2 days and the whole fucking thing had turned over. And I was like, this is incredible. Absolutely incredible. So after that, I said like, hey man, look, that was such a good experience. And you've proven to me that, you are so dedicated to this and everything. How would you like to work on a book with me sometime? Like a one-shot comic? And he was like, well, what's it about? And I said, it's called Ed Gein Demon Hunter. And I'm thinking about setting it in the 90s. And he was like, I love the 90s and Ed Gein's fascinating. Count me in. And I was like, thank Christ. Because before that, I'd asked like several other artists who I thought they can do the job. Because the moment I came up with the idea of Ed Gein Demon Hunter, I was like, my art style is not going to suit this. And for a little while, I've wanted to get away from drawing books and stick with what's in my wheelhouse. I'm a writer first, artist second.
Right.
And with Lady Satan, I thought it was going to be the last book I draw, and then I could take a break, maybe come back to another book later on. And like I said, because of unforeseen circumstances, it just got to a point where I was like, I need someone else to do it. And luckily, we were coming to the end of the run with Ed Gein Demon Hunter. And I said to Christian, like, this has been awesome, man. Would you like to work on another book for me? Because I've got a bit of an issue. It's roughly a 2-year delay at the moment. Do you want to take on Lady Satan? And he was like, yeah, sure, I'll give it a go. And I sent him the script. And this is the thing. Each time I send him the script, I've been working as a writer for, way too long. A lot longer than I could fucking remember. So about 10 years or so. And every time I submit something, I still get that, I go from having 8 hours of sleep a night to having 8 hours of anxiety a night instead. Right. And with Ed Gein Demon Hunter, like I sent him the scripts and I was like, oh God, this guy, he knows what he's fucking doing. He's worked with DC, IDW, Alterna. Like, what if he turns around and says, it's okay, kind of thing. And, so I sent him the scripts and I'm there like, oh God, what's he going to think? And then to my surprise, he didn't hate it. I was like, oh, well, that's a great start. That's fantastic. No, he actually...
The absence of hate is a rousing endorsement.
Exactly. He was actually, he gave quite a bit of praise to it. He said, like, damn, you're a talented writer. And I was like, oh, stop.
You're like, no, you got to say it Britishly. You got to say, pull the other one.
Oh, come on.
But the amazing thing is that then meant that when I sent him the Lady Satan script, I was like, oh, what if he turns around and goes, it's all right, but it's not as good as Ed Gein Demon Hunter. I was like, shit, I'm back in that fucking anxiety zone again. Yep. But then he came back and said, I've read the first issue. And he went, Jesus Christ, this is the most original thing I have ever read. And I've worked on a lot of books. And I was like, I know you have. I have a few of them. Yeah. so that was high praise, and we've just... Everything that we've worked on so far has been great. I'm not a religious person. Spiritual, yes. Religious, no. However, you can't help but think like someone up there wanted me and Christian to work together because we've been working together ever since and people seem to be loving it. So why should we stop, Christian? Why should we stop? We shouldn't stop, should we, Christian? Yeah.
All right, Luke, can you see the comment on the screen there?
You're
getting some praise here.
I am still grateful to Lucifer for leading me into the madness and this world of comics. I can legit say that Lucifer himself tempted me. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I also brought her to the Madness Network. I didn't just turn her insane.
Right.
Anyone who's reading that comment out of context.
Right. The Brianna is a loved and welcome member of our community. Always.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
Absolutely, such a sweetheart.
So, holy cow! Drop your link if you don't mind, Lou, in the chat for your website, because Lucifer does not crowdfund. He makes the books and he sells them on his website. So if you want in, you got to go there to get it, and we want to make sure we steer people over to that store.
Well, what I love about that is it's direct. I love direct, the idea of direct market. You know, I want to do that for my own stuff. But crowdfunding is
crowdfunding is I'm stuck in the crowdfunding model because I can't afford offset printing.
Which is fair enough.
I wrote.
Yeah, you can't argue with the crowdfunding model.
I wrote and drew my own book because I can't afford writers and illustrators. That's the
Mary Machine Gun when it got colored. You know how I got that colored?
How?
I sold plasma.
Yes.
I sold plasma so I can pay for my colors.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. Like while I was on here, I sold a couple things, some of my collectibles, and I was like, what don't I want anymore? I got all this crap lying around.
What's worth sacrificing?
Yeah,
in order to get your book made. And
everyone,
I got Lynn out.
When you're doing a book and you believe in yourself and your product, you'll eat a lot of ramen noodles.
Oh yeah,
you got to cut corners somewhere to afford what you're doing.
You do. I'm telling you, and the moment you print your first book, I'm telling you, it's in your blood. Like after that, like
yeah.
And Lucifer, we need to chat because you've got Lady Satan, and I'm working on a book called Lady Blasphemy.
Sweet. Hold on, what's that?
Crossover.
I thought that's what I could hear. I thought I could hear crossover somewhere.
Yep.
All right, boys and girls, we're at the 1 hour mark. We got to pay a few bills here. This is your opportunity to go warm your coffee up, come back, sit down, and watch some of these lovely trailers for some great product. Starting with, Revenge, the sweetest morsel to the mouth that ever was cooked in hell.
you sex, sass, and style. Buckle up and unlock your imagination for a fun adventure with these death-dealing dames. They sail the galaxy in search of spoils. The most dangerous acquisition, and the most fruitful, are the legendary Splinters of Yggdrasil. The Splinters are magical artifacts forged from the Tree of Life that wreak havoc on the universe. The missions are perilous, but the bounty is glorious. Enjoy our hyper-fictional wonderland. How is a pirate ship sailing through space? 'Cause magic. How do they heal so quickly after battle? 'Cause magic. How are they able to communicate through jewelry? 'Cause magic. It's all about the characters. Abo, rough, robotic, ready. Mo, carefree, callous, courageous. Mistress Graven, daring, diplomatic, dominating. Betsy, academic, accountable, aristocratic. Nefara, ancient, assured, adrenaline junkie. Bruto, proud, prominent, protective. Fisty, independent, incendiary, invigorating. Roxy, superficial, scarred, secretive. Once you get to know this diverse crew of mythical miscreants, you'll be anxious to find out what trouble they'll get into on the next episode. Go to abogrizzly.com and order both halves of the first episode today.
Oh, you're a smooth talker, you are.
You are.
Out of all of those ads played, we didn't play Lucifer Storm's ad.
Because I ain't got one at the moment. That's going to change.
That's okay. Yes. The Human Hunters, you can't back it anymore. It's over. The campaign ended on the 1st.
What now?
Human Hunters, the campaign ended on the 1st of May.
Okay. All right. Well, nevertheless.
It's still there. I mean, it'll be available on the website soon enough.
These are the things that Max Devill and Atrocity Press are doing.
Yep.
You know, he kind of reminds you of that one guy that.
Yeah, that one guy. You know,
you're there.
Just that one thing. You know, the thing.
Yeah.
You're trying to hook up with the girl, and then Max walks up. You know.
Yep.
This get boring you? Why don't you talk to me instead? I'm from a different planet.
Yes.
Infinitely memeable. Infinitely. So I don't have a backstage producer today, so I'm having to do all of this.
Yeah.
Which means I didn't get to go refill my coffee. So
shit, hide, quick.
Oh, fuck.
This is why you have a co-host. Tanner, take it away.
Why, hello, everybody. Today we're going to talk about
stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stuff and things.
I like talking about stuff. And
we're going to be talking about stuff.
I think things is a little overrated compared to stuff.
Things are a little overrated compared to stuff. I agree.
Not the John Carpenter movie, The Thing. That could never be overrated. That's just fantastic.
Stuff.
That's true.
Yeah.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. However, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Let's just accept it. What a great title.
Yeah.
What a great movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's like with ours, Ninja Bimbos versus Zombies from Deep Space. You can't beat a name like that.
Can't beat it. I love it.
I fucking
Grindhouse is all hell, and I just love it.
I love titles like that.
That's
I'm
a
big
profound title too. I just gotta say,
it is extremely profound. Fucking,
I love how you can get coffee quicker than me. It's
dude,
I need a coffee pot, but
you wouldn't think my fat ass could run.
Well, no, I'm
down
jealous
the hall,
of
down the steps, because the kitchen's under me. So,
Doc, that wasn't a run. That was a fucking sprint.
Doc's got a dumb waiter in his apartment, his studio.
It's a coffee machine right here on my desk.
Right?
Don't think that ain't gonna happen.
And why do you not have that already? How long have you had that studio?
This has been my studio for 16 years.
Well, there you go.
And the fact that there's not a coffee machine in here has frequently bothered me. But it's really bothering me here lately because running down the damn hall to get no, I don't run. All right, I did my running in the military.
Yep. Yeah. All done with that shit.
The last time I was running, charging toward the enemy, I mean, screaming in terror, was, I swore, would be the last time I run.
The last time I ran was to get away from people. And I only run to get away from things now. I don't run towards the enemy. I run away from the enemy.
I live by a very simple rule. It's stand up to any man. Run from any woman. Run!
Yes. My general rule is, and this is the hard truth, I've only got one ass whooping left in me. So if you come to my door to bring trouble, you better be sure. Because it's the last one I've got, and I'm going to dump the whole thing on you.
Oh yeah,
that's what I tell my kids.
If you're going to commit a felony, commit a felony.
Yeah. You know? Don't take the 10-minute late for curfew ass whooping from your parents. Stay out till dawn.
Yeah, till dawn. Yeah,
it's the same ass whooping.
You're in trouble anyway. Might as well get the most out of it.
When I was 16, I went out drinking with my friends, and I came home at 3:00 in the morning, and the door was locked, and I couldn't get inside, so I had to sleep on the front porch. And my dad woke up at 5:00 to go to work, and he's pulling out of the driveway, and he's like, "Feel stupid yet?" I'm like, "I feel cold more than stupid."
Oh man, my parents did a similar thing, and I did, and I was up, out until the wee hours of the morning, and I slept in my car.
Tanner, I did the same. Check this out. Same thing. It was the sun's coming up. I had partied too long. I got to get home. I go home. Of course, the door's locked. So I crawl into the back seat of my car, a 1969 Chevy Impala.
Very nice.
Lay down, go to sleep. And then when my parents woke me up with that same kind of attitude, don't you feel like an idiot? I was like, I was 5 minutes late for curfew and you locked the door already. I rolled the dice to gaslight.
Oh, no.
And reverse guilt trip. And it worked.
Oh.
It worked. I'm sorry. I didn't realize. Oh, poor me.
No, not this guy. It was.
No, my dad wouldn't have given a shit. He would have been like, if you were 5 minutes late, you should have been 5 minutes earlier.
Oh, wow. So Dawn has to run all the time. Her dog has Alzheimer's. When she's out the door, she starts looking for the house a few miles down the road. Turning around is not a logical move if you ask her. I guess she would be, in human years, she'd be about a 10-year-old. She's only a year and a half old. Big, lanky, elbows and knees puppy. When she gets out of the fence, she no longer knows her own name. When you call her, she's just, she's running for joy up and down the street. There's a stream here at the bottom of the valley, and she will leap off the culvert a good 8 feet into the water. Whoosh! Get herself good muddy, and then come home. So always, and Max is in there trying to hide the bodies.
Don't hide them. Be proud of your effort.
Crash.
You put a lot of work into that, Max. Don't hide the bodies.
Exactly. Take some pride in your work.
Wait a minute. Here we go. It's a live cam of the life of Max Devill.
It's soon.
Oh my God! This takes me back to the early 2000s when people were very voyeuristic. I had a roommate that used to watch, had the subscription to like this sorority house or something.
Oh, sweet Jesus!
And facts.
No. But right now, though, we're so desperate for good content that we would tune in to Max's live stream.
I'm making French fries for Rally.
We would pay to watch that, Max.
Hey, you can't deny those Rally fries, man.
No, you can't. Those are the best fries ever made.
Damn Skippy.
I got to say this, though. I'm envious of this. Mm-hmm. Rex Momentum Comics, Devil Flyer, Rex Christian. He forgot to turn off his stream, and he works at night. And he went to work, and he left the stream up.
Oh no!
He had viewers all night long.
It's like Dale Keown. Did you see his?
Yeah,
no,
he passed out.
But I heard about it.
Passed out drunk. He was like, "I love you, Mandy Summers." Then he got 1,000 subscribers just off of that.
So I am literally going to try it next month with my StreamYard reviews. I'm going to use up all my streaming time with just an empty chair and maybe a coffee mug sitting here steaming. You know, what could it hurt?
Why not? You know,
the pressure's off, fellas. The campaign is closed. The pressure's off. I can breathe for a couple.
Feels
of
good. You don't have to.
Then you got to think about issue 2.
Yeah,
Well,
but you
Tanner,
no
you
longer,
asshole.
you no longer have to fuck your campaign anymore. You know, I mean, when I have
Yes.
when I have a Kickstarter or Indiegogo or whatever running, one of my monitors is just up the entire time.
Yeah.
I don't let it
I
get
can
to
keep
me,
an eye on
but I'm also medicated, so I mean,
Yeah, you know. Let me see.
I get the anxiety. I just, excuse me, pop some meds, and you know, it levels me out for a little while. You know? I am a proud sponsor of the United States VA. You know?
Hey, we do what we got to do.
And all those people that are like anti-meds and stuff like that, I'm like, well, okay.
Well, if you don't want to take them, I'll take yours for you. It's fine. That's what I'm like.
It's funny.
Vegans.
Better life through medicine. Woohoo!
Doc was talking about psychiatrists earlier today, and actually, my psychiatrist from the VA buys my comic books, and I'm pretty sure it's so he can use them to analyze me.
Use them to diagnose you. Oh, that's awesome.
Mine doesn't buy my comic books. She occasionally stops crying. Not for long. Not for long. Not for long.
Not for long. Man, dude, I am so psyched for Lady Satan. Like,
good. That's what I like to hear.
I want that
I'm
book
psyched
so
to get it
bad.
out there.
Dude, you know,
I'm excited for it too, just from what I've heard about it.
Good,
I mean,
because
it's
like I said, I'm really excited to get it out there. I was working on some of the lettering earlier because I'm hoping that with the next update that I can give to people who backed the original campaign, I can say, look, here's a 12-page preview. Fucking brace yourself, because I've had to do so many updates where I'm like, I'm going to show you some of the art, but I can't even show you some of the best stuff because then I'll be put on a register. And I don't want that yet. Okay. Christian's fine because he can just say, look, he put a gun to my head.
Yeah.
He made me draw this
made
shit.
me do it.
And that gun is called money. But that's
Yeah.
neither here nor there. You know, whereas I'm the fucker who actually sat there and went, yeah, that'd be a fucking great. We should do that. Yeah. That would
Yeah, when you research for what we do, you pray no one ever finds your search history.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. God, fucking yes.
You will end up on a list. You will end up on a list. By the way, here is what's coming in the near future from me.
I'm so
Very
military.
nice.
I'm so military programmed that when that ad first starts, I always think it's a C-130.
Yeah.
That's what I was going for, Max. I'm glad you caught it.
Just brrr.
So this is the way this is going to work. Moving the whole IP over to Fund My Comic, the next part of the trilogy is Pariah, Sanctum of Hate. But there's a character you're going to meet in that book that I thought what would be cool is I'm going to do a little short 12-page floppy of a little bit of his backstory. So that is A Damn Dirty Thing, Chapter 1, Blood on the Bricks. It is a Sin City, Maltese Falcon, Casablanca noir story. that I'm going to have a ball making. Script is already written.
Double Indemnity. Man. You ever seen that one?
Oh, classic.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Classic.
Love that stuff. Stephen V said, can he pop in for a minute?
No.
It is literally past
only if he gives me a cuddle.
Gives you a what?
A cuddle. That's my only
cuddle. That's right.
Cuddle.
A snog.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
We're
British. Well, I am.
The link is in the chat. Stephen, if you want to pop in, you're welcome to. We've only got 9 minutes left here.
Look, I've got to ask you something, man. Like,
sure.
You've called the second Pariah Sanctum of Hate. Was there ever a point that you were tempted to change it to Sanctum of Shadowband? Just to really be like, fuck you.
I thought about changing the name of my whole book when it was on Indiegogo to the Shadow Band. I mean, it sounds cool.
Yeah, it does.
Hey, you know my rule. Get on camera.
I'm working on it.
Prior planning prevents piss poor performance.
Brianna says
I
she's British
only
adjacent.
I only have one camera, and I think I might be stressing the camera arm on here.
Listen, there's no excuses, okay? You got a room full of veterans here. There he is.
Yeah, there we go.
There it is.
What's up, Stephen B?
Hey, how's it going?
Going great, man. It's good to see you. Did you have a question for Lou, or did you want to come out and shill Crips a little?
Huh?
Did you want to shill a little, or did you have questions for the panel?
No, just thought I'd come out and hang out for that last 5 minutes.
Yeah, the last 10 minutes or so. Come on, hang out with us. You're part of the family.
Nice.
Stephen B is the writer.
I sent you a message on Twitter.
And he is one of the hardest working men in comics. I mean, he don't do a stream that he ain't working on. Yeah. He's sitting here right now thinking, damn, I could be drawing.
See?
Because he already is. He's already on it. He's all over it like a rash. Good on him.
Good on you. Good on you.
I love your layouts.
Yeah, Stephen B is one of the best storytellers as far as the flow through a page. I literally asked him if I could steal a scene from him for my book. Like, I've been trying to draw something just like that, and I was hitting the wall, so do that for me. And he's like, yeah, go ahead.
And every one just gets better and better.
Yep.
I'm a little jealous, actually.
So I have this theory that there is always one thing that an artist cannot draw. And I always try to find one thing, the one thing that the artist cannot draw. And like with Fernando, I haven't found it yet. But I'm working. I mean, I write all sorts of crazy shit into my scripts now, just to see if I can get him to draw it.
Yeah, true story from back in the day. Everybody knows this. I do not like drawing man-made geometric things. Okay. If it's organic, I can draw it all day. Trees, people, dog, cat, bird, bat, doesn't matter, except horses. I hate horses. They are nightmares that should not exist. All right.
Interesting.
So anyway, back in the 90s, when I was working for one of the small press companies, I got a script in one day, and this guy knew I hated drawing cars.
I thought you were going to say horses.
Splash page is the heroine perched atop a roof, looking down at a Gothic sanatorium in a parking lot filled with cars. And I went, no. But I had a secret weapon. My inker was an architectural draftsman. So I just blocked in where shit goes, and I said, please help. And I cut and pasted the piece of the script to the page and sent it to him. He knocked it out of the ballpark, made me look great. So thank you, Merle.
There's supposed to be cars. Make it happen.
Yep, cars in the building.
Yeah.
Oh, I so relate. Yes.
There's some things that everyone can draw, and some things that not so many people could draw. For me, I can draw a city.
Rub it in. Yeah, thanks.
I'd rather pound my balls with a wooden mallet than draw a city.
I'm just giving you hell, man.
But for that, I'm going to show this.
Now, while he's doing that,
he's like, just going to twist the knife a little bit.
While he's doing that, there were three of us pencilers that were talking, and all three of us at the same time were having to draw a scene inside a stairwell. And all three of us said, fuck it, from now on, they're in the elevator.
So, do you wonder what I showed the people at the conventions to get their advice on something?
What's that?
And that is the and this is when I was trying to draw Rev.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, man.
Fucking hell.
Kill me now. Just kill me.
There's so
perspective.
But it's so good.
Page after page of shit I don't want to draw. We'll pay you $3 million to do the next Fast and Furious comic book. Yeah, no.
So that's what you show artists at convention when you're sort of like,
and the one
can you give me advice? Is that what you do? Is that what you show them to be like, hey, can you give me advice? And it's like, I don't need it. Fuck you.
So one of the things that they said to me was, well, you need to work on your well, first one said I need to work on my perspective, and I did like a whole week or two working on 1.2.3.
I love this. Yeah, I worked on it for a week or two, and I just started doing this.
Yeah. and this is like I was like, what, 22 years old, and I went back to the convention and showed another guy, and he said, "This is really good stuff." Wait, how old are you? I'm like 22. Damn, you're better than me.
Yeah, I tell you what, man. Like when I'm at conventions, I haven't shown anyone at conventions my stuff for years, and this is because about 10 years ago, I was a guest at a convention in Germany, and it was a really cool convention, but it was really weird because it wasn't like a comic convention or anything like that. It was you had film guests, you had TV guests, you had music guests, you had wrestlers, you had comic people.
In Germany, there's got to be porn.
Oh yes, but me and you will talk about that later. Right? So they had us all spread in these different places, right? So I'm sat next to a film director on one side, and I'm like, okay, I have a feeling like I shouldn't be here, especially when all of a sudden the paparazzi fucking come out and they're gathering around like my area and they're taking photos, and I'm like, they're not here for me. They are certainly not here for me. Who the fuck are they here for? And then Mr. Lordy from the band Lordy sits down next to me. Oh, hello. Right. Really freaking out of place now. This is strange. And a couple of people sort of like came along and they bought the books and all that. And this film director, he was like, hey, man, like, there's some chick over there. This is back when Dark Horse still had the rights to do the Star Wars comics and stuff.
Right.
And they pointed this lady out and said, like, oh, she's an artist for Dark Horse and Star Wars and stuff. Show her your stuff. I'm sure she'll give you some tips on like how to get into like Dark Horse and all that. So I went over there and I showed her, and she was just like, well, that shit and that shit and that shit and that shit. And all of a sudden your confidence is caving. And like, I'm walking back with my tail between my legs, like, wow, that was fucking worth it, wasn't it? I basically got told you're shit. And then the organizer stopped me and just went, where the fuck have you been? I was like, I was talking to them over there, and they were like, I've been looking for you for ages, because it was also an award ceremony, right? And I didn't know this at the time. I'm just there because they said, we need a guest. You want in? And I was like, fuck it. I've never been to Germany before. I'll
certainly do.
Right? So he stopped me. He said, like, you know, I've been looking for you. You've won the Audience Choice Award. And he handed it to me, and I was like, this is a really weird feeling. I'm being told that I'm shit and being handed an award for it. I don't know what to think anymore. Disney's lied to me. It's not gonna be this way. So I like, from that point on, I was just like, fuck showing my shit to anyone else.
I would have went right back over to that girl with the award and been like, where's your fucking award?
Yeah, but no, my luck, I would have done that, and then she would have been like, this one, or this one.
I got all sorts of awards.
I take them everywhere with me. I brush my hair with them.
It is something to take to heart, though. Understand this. If you want to get critiqued, go get critiqued. But if you don't. Because here's the thing. Somebody somewhere will like your art and your story.
Yeah. It's true. I mean, look, Ashley Wood. Everyone thought
one of the things we do at Atrocity Press. Once per year, I have Alzir Alves, the head of the Rishundo studio in Brazil. He goes and he does a critique on all of our artists' work for the year, and he basically tells them, work on your perspective. You know, your 3 points is better. You need to put more stuff in the foreground. You know, just different things to help him out. I mean, it's not like he's ramming it down and you suck and you're fucking garbage. It's just like, it's kind of a...
That is a hell of a thing for you to say to me.
Sandwiches. This is great. This is terrible. And this is great.
Right. All right, boys and girls, it is that time. We are out of time.
Oh, no.
It always goes by so fast. Look.
It does.
I want to thank Tanner, my co-host, as always, for being here. Can't do the show without him. Lucifer Storm, Ed Gein, Demon Hunter, Lady Satan. Go to luciferstorm.com. Get into this because it's well worth it. Lou, thank you for coming out.
Anytime, man. It's my pleasure.
Mine too. And I can't wait for more content on your channel, by the way.
Oh, don't worry. There will be more. There will be more. I'm sure there's going to be a lovely conversation after this show's over.
All right. Fantastic. Stephen B.
Yeah.
Tell people who you are, where they can find you, and why they should care.
Well, my name is Stephen B. And you can find me right here on YouTube at boldcatstudios, where you'll see some of my drawings for various books I'm working on.
And he is currently in sign up on Fund My Comic, correct?
Yep, I am on Fund My Comic, Christian Legends: The Second Chance campaign, and we have, what was it? 87 days left.
Fantastic. So get on over to Fund My Comic. Yeah. Show Stephen B. Crips and Legends a little bit of love over there. I've got an alternate cover here I've done for him that I got to mail to him that I keep forgetting every time I go to the post office. I'll show it.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I remember when you were working on that.
Yep. So I got to get that in the mail to you, Stephen. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
It's all right. I sent you a message on Twitter.
Okay, I'll check it. And last but not least on the panel, Max from Atrocity Press.
You don't find me, I find you.
That's what you told me in the club that one time, and I've been waiting. I was wearing that lovely little black number, and you never called.
Never right.
I write all the time.
Ghostinhis.com.
I want to thank the chat. Without you guys, none of us could do what we do. You're the reason we do it.
Absolutely.
And,
we could do it, but it'd be boring as shit.
This is So on that note, first of all, I got to roll this one because let the love flow.
I broke the window.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit cb4k.org.
How do you end this thing? How do you put the where?